I find there was a lot of people that switched over to Fortnite after No Building came out, like both from Warzone and Apex. The hell was that? But like then the that new Vampire the Masquerade came out a little while ago, which seems to be blowing up a little bit. Like a lot of the like higher tier streamers like are friggin' popping over to that right now. Well, that's what I mean. Like there's a lot of stuff that they're missing for sure with like some of these games. Wait, can I make a higher one for this? No, I don't think I can. Nope, I can't. Well, like that's what I mean. Like they're more worried about making their money, right? Which I think is absolutely like bullshit. But it is what it is. Not what I meant to do. Mithril ring. Okay. Well, like that's why it's totally at least I find anyways, it's one of those things where it's very very opinion based. Exactly. Like I find too many game companies are trying to go with that. Like even Apex, like with all like the battle pass. Well, not really. The battle pass isn't too bad because the battle pass gives you, if you buy it once, it gives you enough coins when you finish to buy the next battle pass. So if you buy one, you essentially can have all of them. Like forever, as long as you complete the battle pass. Unlike some of the other ones where you literally have to buy it monthly, but like that new skin for Bloodhound, which like the legendary one that evolves and you get the finisher with, like was a little bit ridiculous. I think it's like crazy expensive. That's kind of why I also like I like the battle pass. Like the battle pass is enjoyable for Apex. Like it's not hard to get anything in. I've never really gotten one for any of the other ones. But like that's one of the main reasons I like the one for Apex is the fact that all I need is one of them. The hell? I just got murked. But like all I need is the one and then I'm good to go. I don't know how the other ones work, so I can't really attest to those. If they do the same thing, then friggin' awesome. Come back here, you box motherfucker. But like that's normally why I'm an RPG person too. But like I find RPGs and stuff are getting into that too, which kind of sucks. Oh, thank you, Donald. Cuz like they're doing like a lot of the I guess costumes and stuff, which, back in the day used to be like you just unlock them. There was none of this fucking, buy this fucking pack of fucking costumes for like $5, and then they come out with another one later on. It was like, do these few things and unlock said costume for certain characters. So that's kind of bothering me a little bit. And it's the same with like a lot of the guns and stuff like that, like skins for stuff. Which is, I guess, all the costumes are in RPGs. But like skins for stuff and shooters and whatnot. And like, it's just, you look at it and they used to be just things you had to do to get. But now, like, these companies are just way, way too much about, you know, money this, money that. And I understand their businesses, they gotta make their money, but like with how much these games are, oh, 100% it's a sales trick. It's the same with like the friggin' the boxes and stuff like that in all the shooter games and all the battle royals and stuff like that. Because, like, there's some places where they're banned because it's technically gambling because you're trying to get, like, the best thing that there is, right? So you're, like, gambling on hoping you're going to get something good. Which is why it's banned in some places because children play the game, so they're like, nope, can't do it. Not here. And it's the same, it's kind of the same thing with cheating in battle royals and stuff like that, because there's some places like where you're looking at like major fines and jail time if you're caught using cheats in like Apex, Warzone, Fortnite, because you can potentially be fucking up somebody's like livelihood and whatnot. So like there's different places where these things like esports and stuff like that are a lot bigger, like, you know, like China, Korea, Japan, stuff like that, where they're gigantic things. Like if you're caught cheating, like you're looking at getting the cops called on you, you're looking at like fines, like everything like that. Like you're lucky somebody doesn't, like, you know, hunt you down and beat the shit out of you. I remember I seen one video where that happened. Like there was I think it was an internet cafe, and this guy's going, I forget what game it was, might have been Apex, but he was playing in an internet cafe because, you know, better internet connection than he probably had, and looks down and sees this guy cheating at the exact same thing that he's playing, and he walked over and like tore him out of his seat, and he's like, this is how I make my money, you're fucking up how I make my money, and started going off. Well, like, I can understand that. Like, fucking, if you're gonna fuck with, like, it'd be the same if somebody came into your business and started, you know, screwing around with stuff or breaking things or like stealing your items and stuff like that. Like, you'd be pretty pissed off too. And it's the same way with a lot of the like the esports and stuff like that in some places. But like they get it to the point where it's actually like a crime. And I can understand that, like, 100%. Like, I feel like the cheating and stuff should be a lot, like, like, stricter looked after or, like, punished. Like, some people are like, oh, whatever, man, it's just a game. But it's like, with the amount of people that are streamers and the amount of people that are, like, trying to get into esports teams and stuff like that, like, the money that they're costing some people is fucking ridiculous. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, I guess it's like a hit or miss kind of thing where you're like, you know, it is just a game, but like when you're making money off it, it's completely different. Like, that's why when I see some people, like, freak out over games, I'm just like, why? Like, it's a game. Unless you're, like, unless that, like, you know, you losing just cost you, like, money, who the fuck gives a shit? Like, it's a game. Play it. If you lose, get better. If, like, you know, somebody cost you fucking money because they made you lose, then yeah, be pissed. But then again, at the end of the day, you still have to get better. Like, there's... Oh, I gotta get them. Fuck. 100%. 100%. Like, they sit there and it's... I'm talking a lot and it's very fucking warm in here. But, like, that's what I mean. Like, it's very hit or miss, or, like, gray area. Like, they... And that's why a lot of these places, like, a lot of these companies, all they do is take the advice of the pros, because they're the ones making them money. So if they complain about something, they're like, oh yeah, well, we'll just... I'm being attacked. But they'll take the advice of the pros over the mass majority of the people who play their game. Like, like, this season of Apex is, like, a prime example for me where they nerfed the Kraber. The Kraber was their, like, really their only scary gun in that game. Everything else, for the most part, was fairly balanced. Like, you know, you get, like, the Spitfire was strong, don't get me wrong. And it's, like, a slower fire game, so it's a little bit easier to use. But, like, in all reality, you can beat it. Same with the Kraber. Like, you can beat the Kraber. It's, like, a higher skill weapon to use. But, like, it's a very low drop. It's rare that you get one. Like, even with all the times that I've played, I rarely ever end up getting a Kraber. But when I do, like, I'm ridiculously happy. I'm like, yes! I can't wait to, like, hit somebody with this if I do.
Yeah, and then you die.
But, like, now the fact that, like, it's not a one-hit kill, or not really a one-hit kill, because it never really was. But, like, now the fact that it's, like, sometimes it's not a one-shot, like, knockdown for, like, a headshot is absolutely, like, mind-boggling to me. And that's one of the reasons I don't play Warzone either, is because they've got too many weapons that are fucking one-shot. Like, most of their shotguns are one-shot. Almost every single sniper rifle in that game is one-shot. Like, the fact that most of the weapons are just, like, the time to kill is, like, ridiculously low is absolute insanity. Zoe, up.
Out.
But, like, that's where I think, like, that's one of the things that bothered me about that game. Like, don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed playing it. But, like, everybody, like, the second somebody finds out a way to one-shot somebody with a weapon in that game, it's all over the internet. And then that's all anyone uses because nobody's creative. Like, it's the same with, like, when I see the TikToks of, oh yeah, these are, like, bomb-ass settings for Apex. Use these and you'll never miss a shot. It's like, no, those are the settings that work best for you. Like, The same settings that work best for you in Apex or Warzone that are making you fucking beam people from halfway across the map don't work for everyone because you've been practicing and practicing and tweaking your settings. But people think they're gonna work. It's just like when people are like, "Oh yeah, these guns are meta. Like, use this gun and this gun," and like you're just gonna, you know, shit on everybody. Like, don't get me wrong, the Kraber still hits hard in Apex, but like the fact that they dropped it by as much as they did. And that was all because of pros. Pros were like, "Oh, it's too strong for comp, blah blah blah." Like the second they find something that another team keeps using that, like, you know, destroys them, they're just like, "Nope, it's got to be nerfed, it's got to be taken out, it's got to be changed." And it's like, why? Like, just find a way to be better. It's like when people complain about the Spitfire.
Out.
And they're like, "Oh, the Spitfire's too strong, you can take down a full team." Yes. 100% you can take out a full team. Because that's what the game is, or the game, that's what the gun is there for. It's a friggin' LMG. It's meant to deter those teams that want to just fucking rush you. Because that's what I find everybody does in, you know, battle royals, is there's no, I'm going to think about this, I'm going to see, you know, think strategically. It's just, I'm better, like, I think I'm better than you, so I'm going to jump in and rush your team. That's what the Spitfire is there to prevent. You know, you can sit there and easily take out a team of 3, 100%. But there are some people that can easily take out a team of 3 with, like, a pistol. Like, the Spitfire is a lower skilled weapon because it's got the giant clips, but it's an LMG, so it's supposed to have a giant clip. And it's got, like, a slower fire rate, so the recoil is going to be a little bit less. Is going to be less than other guns, but it's meant to deter, you know, a team of 3 just jumping in. But like that's what Apex usually does. They balance everything. There's always something to get around something. That's why all the legend abilities have like counters. That's why all the guns have counters. Like somebody has a Spitfire, don't rush the team. Sneak around or fucking snipe the shit out of them. Like, or use your abilities so that it doesn't, you know, do what it's supposed to do. Ooh, that's fancy. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to go Valor. I meant to go Wisdom. But, like, that's the way, like, all the guns in most games need to be. There should always be a way to combat something, regardless of what it is. Because that's what makes the game fair. Like, unless it's something that they rarely can get their hands on, then there should always be a combat to it. Ow. Like, don't like getting hit in the face with a sniper rifle? Fucking find cover. There we go. Oh, what's going on here? Well, that's what I mean. I love having like a long battle. That's why I like Apex so much. Is the fact that you can sit there and have a good decent. Obviously, you're going to get hit with third parties, fourth parties, and fifth parties because they're going to hear the noise and come running. But like that's why I love Apex so much. Is like the time. Like don't get me wrong, the time to kill is still fast, but it's longer than most other games. Like that's my biggest pet peeve for Warzone is like the time to kill is way too small. Like if you get like people that have really good aim, they're just gonna snipe everything. There's a one shot, they're on the ground. One shot, they're on the ground. One shot, there's a team wipe. Like 3 bullets should not kill a team unless it's like a very rare weapon, like the Kraber in Apex. You can 1 bullet an entire team, but like you gotta hit that shot perfectly. Or you can three bullet a team, but like you gotta be really, really a good shot with that fucking gun for that to happen. But like any of the other sniper rifles in the game aren't gonna do that unless they're already hurt. But like I'd say about 80 to 90%, if not all of the sniper rifles in Warzone, headshot are instant knockdowns, and sometimes even shots to the body, depending on what one you have. Oh, I always go after gunshots too. But like that's why I also love to friggin' hot drop sometimes. Just like it's fun to get into some of those like ridiculous battles with like 10 people and see if you can survive. But it also helps your gunplay skills too. But like then there's some of the guns in Warzone that are irritating as fuck, like that fucking the knife that you can long shot people with because it shoots the blade out, and knives are like one shot. It's like if they're up close, yeah, I can understand that because it's hard to get up to somebody and melee them. But like if you're shooting people with a fucking knife and it's just like instant killing them, like that's ridiculous. Or like some of the shotguns where it's like, oh yeah, I got a slug shot in this, so boom, they're done. It's like, what? It's a shotgun. I realize you're like slug shotting, but like seriously? We're going this way, are we, Jack? But that's one of the things like I think I like about Apex most is that it's more balanced around things like where there's always a way to combat something. Holy shit. Like I don't know how Fortnite is with that because like I said before, I only really played it for like a half an hour. What? How come I can't use wisdom form? Nope. Like see, like I don't even know like a lot of the guns in that, but Mac 10, I've seen like the builds for that, and like I remember that one build that came out a while ago where the Mac 10 just shreds everything. Like that's what I mean. Like the second I see Mac 10, I was like, oh, I understand why that's there. But like anytime I see any kind of like, and that's another thing about Warzone I don't like is the loadouts. Like, the fact that you can, like, be in the game for, like, 40 seconds, gather enough money, and then your team is fully kitted up with, like, the best guns that they can possibly get is ridiculous. Like, that's another thing that I find Apex has that's better, is where you have to get the attachments for your guns. There's no just, oh look, I have everything I need to completely destroy this entire lobby. Oh yeah, no, like, I know that, like, that much I had gathered from Fortnite, because I think you gotta pick up different colored weapons to get better ones. So I feel like that's definitely, like, more balanced than fucking Warzone, but, like, that's what Warzone is known for, not being balanced and always being broken. That's not what I meant. Yeah, that's what I thought. What? Why is your... There we go, Goofy. Heal all the way. Yeah. That's, and that's, speaking of, like, the orange and gray stuff, that's, like, Apex does the same thing, too, because they have, like, the different,
The same thing, by.
The same thing.
The same thing.
My Cape Breton be coming out there, by.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, the shields where it goes from white to blue to purple to red. And, gold has, like, different perks to it. And same for the attachments for guns. It's no attachment, or it's a blue attachment, purple attachment. Oh no, there's white attachments, never mind. And then, purple attachments, usually the best. There's a few gold attachments. Oh, okay. I find Burst are really good for, both in Apex. But I find the thing that they're doing a lot of for Apex, which is really stupid, is the armor. The gray armor is still on the ground, but you start off with gray armor. So it's like, why is there gray armor on the ground? There should be no gray armor. Attachments, yes, because your guns never have anything on them. I'm a-dying. But I think that's my favorite system to begin with, is the Apex gun system. I know that's how, Blackout was when they started. And that's how PUBG was. I'd say Fortnite's probably second best. Most times when I'm doing any kind of battle royal, I try to go something close range. usually either an SMG or an AR, because then I can double